Alright, YouTube, I'm back. Well, we're back. He's over there. I wanted to show you that we just put on a new decal, a new Ford Performance one that my brother made, which I thought was super cool. So there's that Ford Ford Performance. You know, it looks super nice. I had a bunch of different colors that we had, but going off of the actual logo from Ford, that it is white and red, so that's the one we went with. But he's ready, so I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll get started.
Hey YouTube, this is Jay NT Customs. I'm Jay.
I'm T.
And how are you doing? Hold please. Alright, so today I've been telling you in my other videos that I've got a head video coming. Well, here it is. This is the follow-up for the head video, and what we did, this is a 5.4 double overhead cam head. Okay, so that means that there are 4 valves per cylinder. Okay, 32 altogether. So this motor is either represented as a 32V or a 4 valve. Okay, this is actually a 5.4 cylinder head. Okay, this is a navigator head. So don't worry about that. That's the table. That's not the cylinder head. This is a navigator head, which is slightly different than on the 4.6 and the 5.4. They have the same. I could take this head, put it on a 4.6, okay, and it'll work. They have different head. They have different values. They have this B head. They have a C head. They have a navigator head. They have a 03, 04 Cobra head. Okay. And they flow all differently. All right. Now the navigator head flows the second best out of all of them. Okay. The 03, 04 Cobra head is the best that you can find. Okay. And obviously we are still in the business of doing budget. Okay. So we are in the budget. Okay, so we're doing budget stuff. We said, okay, let's go look for a set of 03, 04 Cobra heads. Right. Yeah, you can't find them, number one. Okay. Number two, they're extremely expensive. All right. If you're gonna, if you're gonna do not necessarily a backyard build, but if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna do a fairly reasonable, less than 10 grand build, okay, I have to say, if you build something, okay, if you decide you're going to build a 5.4 or even a 4.6 valve, they are expensive. Expect to spend some dollars. Okay, if you go with changing any parts, okay, or changing into performance stuff, if you're just going to sit here and you're going to build a basic setup, okay, maybe change the cam to a Marauder cam or a GT500 cam, then then yeah, you can get away with $2,000 or $3,000 and doing all the work yourself. Okay, but if you're going to go like us, okay, where we're looking to push this motor to start around 550 horsepower, and then later next year we're going to look into doing a twin turbo setup. Okay, and then we'll have to rebuild the bottom end, and then we'll be pushing around 900 on average horsepower. Okay, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's in the future. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know that was corny. However, so let's talk about this head. What did we do? All right. First thing we did was we ported the exhaust valves. Okay, so the exhaust ports, this is where the headers go, or your exhaust manifold goes. Okay, and we ported these. We made them bigger. Now, this is a stock one. Okay, and this is a ported one. All right. Now, I'm really hoping that you can see the difference. All right. So what's happening is that the chambers in here, okay, it's all about airflow and fuel intake. Okay. So what happens here is that these ports, okay, very good. T, you get one? Awesome. All right, these ports here, okay, the exhaust ports. Talking about the exhaust ports. You have your cylinder head here, okay, and the ports themselves. All right. Now each port is caved in like this. So each port looks like this. Okay. In the chamber, it looks like this. All right. No, this is not to scale. Okay. What you want to do is you take the gasket. All right. And when you put the gasket on here, okay, you'll see, all right, so all of this material we're going to open out to, okay, so we're going to open out to the edge of the gasket, all right, so because this is going in, watch this, okay, so you can see here, this is what we did, all right, so you can see we ported our head all the way out to the gasket flange itself, okay, and we straightened the wall, or should I say what we did was we took this wall, okay, and we cut this out. All right, so now our wall is like this, okay. So now our wall is straight out like this. Okay, it's still angled. All right, it still has an angle to it, but it's straight like that all the way around. Okay, it doesn't have this curvature in it. We got rid of the curvature. And in doing so, we opened the port up. We made our port bigger. Okay, the bigger the port, the faster the exhaust gets to get out of the head. Okay. And the better the exhaust gets out of the head, the more performance, more power you get out of it. All right. We also did the same thing with the intake. Okay. I wasn't going to do the intake, but I was looking at it, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. So, what I did here, I took the intake gasket, same thing. All right. So I just opened it up to the gasket. Okay. I didn't change, I only did the bottom. So all I did was I came around and I just opened this section up here, all the way around to here. This section up here, I didn't touch. I wasn't too worried about up here, okay? But from here all the way around, I opened up a little bit, and the navigator heads are flat. This is a flat situation here, okay? So there really isn't much you can do with this. All right, but right at the edge, okay, there is a slight curvature. All right, right at the end here, there is a slight lip. So what I did was I took that lip out. So again, you're going to take your gasket, and put it on your head, okay, and you can see how much material I took out of the head. I just made it a little bit bigger. So all I did was I just opened this up all the way around, open this up just a little bit. And I left this area up here, I left alone. So all I did was just open this up a little bit, just to give it a little bit more air, a little bit more volume, okay? Because, like I said, in the future, we're going to look into turbocharging this. So if you turbocharge, you want to have as much in that you can possibly get and as much out as that you can possibly get, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to now mark, we're going to do our exhaust ports. I might break this video down into a couple episodes because I want to keep it very short, 20 minutes, okay, you know, 20-25 minutes tops. This way you're not sitting here bored out of your mind, okay, on certain things, and then other things you're going, okay, this is kind of boring, let's fast forward. So what we're going to do is just take your exhaust gasket, you line it up with the bolts. Now what you can do is you can put 2 studs in, okay. I didn't do that, I just lined it up here. All right, I took a marker and I marked around like that, okay. I'm going to do the same here. Now the professional way to do this is, nowadays, this is old school, people. All right, this is old school. This is old school backyard. How do you port your heads? Okay, that's what this is. This is not, okay, I'm going to spend $2,000 for a brand new set of CNC machined heads, okay, because that's what we do in the 21st century. We go buy ourselves a pair of heads that have already been done, okay, they've already been CNC'd, and, you know, that's just $2,000. Well, guess what? The average Joe who's trying to make a little bit of, you know, faster car, or he's trying to sit here and build something that is really cool, okay, on a tight budget, doesn't have $2,000 to go buy a set of heads, okay? So this is old school, and when I say old school, my father told me how to do this when I was probably about 7 years old, because I remember working on the head of a straight 6 in a Chevy 2 station wagon that we used to have, and I always told my dad, don't sell that, but he gave it away. That's okay, it was for a good cause anyways. But so, and I learned how to do that, and so this is old style stuff, okay. Then what you're going to do, now these are aluminum heads, okay? This is an aluminum head. We can use sandpaper on this. We can use a wheel on this. We can use wire wheel on this. When we're going to actually use a couple of different tools, we're going to use our small belt sander, okay? We're going to use this guy here. This is for you in the United States. This is a Harbor Freight special, okay? You can get the belts, you can get the machine, Harbor Freight, okay? No, I'm not soliciting for Harbor Freight, but if they watch and they want to get me, you know, they want to send me some stuff, that'd be great. You can email me. So, and what I also did was I bought a wire wheel, not a wire wheel, I bought a drum wheel kit, okay? This one's kind of wiped out, but I have a new one. And basically what it does is it has the different sizes, okay, of wheels. I do have a large one, but I don't need it because it doesn't fit. But this is the kit here, okay, and it comes with the different arbors and the different discs. All right, again, Harbor Freight, okay. That's on an aluminum head. This is going to work beautifully on an aluminum head. If you have a cast iron head, okay, in an older car, let's say you're building a 350 Chevy, or you're building a 351 Ford, or 302 Ford, or even a 427 Ford, or a 318 Dodge, or 340 Dodge, and it's an old style, okay, cast iron head. You're going to have to get hardened steel. I forget what the name of it is, what it is, but it's a tool, and it's like a file. It's like a round file, right? And you're gonna have to file that down. Okay, it can be done, not a problem. All right, so it can be done using those tools. Now, we're at 15 minutes already. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you. Same thing on the intake ports. All right, you're going to put your gasket down. Okay, you're going to. I'm going to put this up like this. Yes, thank you. You can hold that. All right, now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to mark the very bottom like this. Okay, and I'm going to come around just like that, and come around just like that, and come around just like that. Now, you can also you can buy there's a material that machinists use. It's a blue dye. You can paint this with the blue dye, and then you can scribe it with a scribe, so it'll be a scratch mark, and that will also show you where to grind this down to. But because we are doing this the budget way, this is how we're going to do this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to go to episode 2, okay? Or actually episode 3, because I've already said that we're going to be doing these heads. I'm going to show you also how, okay, when we're all done, I'll show you how we polish this, all right? This head's been nice and polished, okay? And it's also been cleaned up and it's ready to go. The only thing that we're going to be doing later on is we're going to be changing the springs. Now, in the next video, I'll talk about the valves and so on and so forth. So, until the next video, we'll be right back.